I think what the Senate has done by this act is to betray the trust of Nigerians. And not just betray the trust of Nigerians, is to make rubbish of all the gains that we've made. Because what happened today is a regression and a dangerous retreat to some of the lofty reforms that were introduced by the 2022 Electoral Act. The Senate President, I completely disagree with the Senate President. He's just being clever by half. Because what he is saying is that the ruling of the Supreme Court in the 2023 elections, they were very clear that electronic collation or transmission was unknown to the law, that INEC cannot, by virtue of its guidelines, introduce electronic transmission, and the IREF, it's clear. And so what the National Assembly did, particularly the two committees in the National Assembly, was to take that judicial pronouncement and update the law, because when the extant law says it shall be by a procedure determined by INEC, INEC went ahead in its guideline, determined the procedure, but the court now said, no, you have to insert it in the law. And the report before them, because I was part of the technical committee that was part of this entire process, what the House passed was that electronic transmission will be part of this process. In fact, the report also mentions the IREF. So I think that the Senate President is lying to Nigerians, because that's not what was provided in the report. It was clear, electronic transmission of result. But that's not also the only thing. One of the things that the Senate has also done is introduce some draconian provisions that will undermine the preparations for the 2023 election, especially logistics. What they have done, they've compressed the time frame. The reason why the 2022 Electoral Act provides that 360 days issue notice, campaign conduct of primaries, was to allow for logistics. What they have done now is to say that primaries will hold, about 90 days, and then INEC will publish the list of candidates 60 days to elections. For heaven's sake, when is INEC going to produce the ballot papers? And so we're going to run into a lot of logistical challenges, for the 2027 elections. If you look at one of the things the bill also does, and the place of the report, is that it makes it compulsory for presiding officers to compare results transmitted electronically and the ones collected manually. Yeah. What they have now done is to jettison that particular provision. So you cannot say that you did a thorough job. If this is the outcome of a thorough job, then I think that the Senate owes Nigerians a lot of apologies.